Hi all, welcome to a bit of a belated video on this. This is covering the Sorare 26 stuff and my game week squads for over the Club World Cup, and also just other feelings as well. So plenty to get into this one, folks, so hopefully you find this all useful. Let me know what you have for this game week, your thoughts on Sorare 26, and we will take it from there. As I say, I'm a bit disorientated, folks, with content, so I can only do it when I can. If you've kept up with stuff on Twitter, it keeps you a little bit in the loop. But basically, I love who I captained Cornell. I thought Captain Wolf, that's a great start. So basically, we have about 20 odd squads. I think it's like 25 squads. So they're just not telling me. That's one thing they should really add back in, is telling you how many actual squads you have at the top. It just helps. So I've got one Global Cup team, so it's Nishikawa, Roldans, Bojanic and Iba Boys. So see how they do. It's just all classic. I think both Roldans could score well. Then from MLS perspective, got Sean Johnson, Shaq Moore, Polster, Joseph Martinez and Kowalczyk. Brought in like Moore and Kowalczyk, all playing well just now, and it was just thinning out the gallery a bit, getting rid of players that were needing to go, and it was just handy, so I thought take advantage. Coronel, Polster, Gallagher, Wolf and Samuel Piet there. I meant to captain Wolf, that was my own fault. 105, it would have probably been pushing nearer 160, but live and learn, especially when I've done it for the classic squad. So I've done it right once. I must have, I think what I've done is when I've put Coronel in, I must have forgot to change him, but never mind. Then Yohi, I know what I was meant. I know why I've done what I've done. Because I meant it was because Cornell was more recommended for this squad over Yohi. That's what it was. So Yohi, Maxo, Laturi, Acosta and Ganago. Acosta's quite low on predicted start, but as long as he plays, then like 40 odd points can maybe just weigh that out nicely, get something. Then this classic squad, this is probably the best squad I think I'm running for MLS this game week. Yohi, Araujo, Zuparik, Luis Muriel and Shambost. Be intriguing to see how Araujo and Muriel do. Shambost, I did kind of ponder captaining him, but I felt like Araujo or Muriel were the better shouts. With Atalanta getting hammered 4-0, Derek Williams scoring 22 is a great sign. Joe Willis, Espinoza, Artur and Saloy make up that squad. And then the final MLS team is Martin Pays, Schlegel, Urav, Westwood and Hannes Wolf. And I had quite a few folk this week asking me who do I buy for MLS, and I was like, Hannes Wolf is one player. If you've not got him in, you should be having him in. But him and amongst a few others I'd mentioned, like your Arturs, Westwood, Gallagher, for steady points, Shambost, Araujo. Like, it was basically all the names that you consistently get people mentioning. It's just a case of whether you do or not. Then for our common squads, as it were, we've got CJ, Evander, Boxall, Surridge and Harper. What I'm quite glad is I've basically spent about 6,000 common essence just going hard on like the MLS packs, just for take advantage. I thought try and get the objectives all done, because I knew when your daily pack kicks back in, that was mostly going to be European cards, so I thought I might as well just try and get all the MLS cards and just see how we do, because I thought I wasn't sure how much essence I'd need to burn on the common side wise to get the seasonal stuff done. I thought I might as well try and get as much done. Got a lot of XP out of it, so I'm not complaining, but at the same time we're just determined to build up more supply at the end of the day. Then Yohi, Kai, Mukhtar, Dreyer and Samuel Piet for that. Now, we could have tried to run a rare contender squad with the Avispa lads and Yamagishi, obviously who's at Nagoya now, and obviously at Machida, but I just didn't have the time to sort. Oh, it was not necessarily the time, it was people that had a rare contender keeper that was still playing, try to get one in. It was just quite just a bit much, and even for the stuff I was wanting to give over, it was just not happening. So I thought, well, just leave it. So basically, our in-season Division 3 squads where possible. For this, we've got Zeleneka, who we've recently brought in. We took out a lot of the keepers that we don't need. Didn't cost us too much, which I was quite happy. It was like the relegated goalkeepers. Some might get moved on, some might not, and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, right, see what we're working with, take it from there, and hope for the best. And I thought throw Iredale, Bowie, Miller, and Cadden in as well. Keeps those guys just getting the game time in as much as possible. And when it's in Division 3 and I can't really do anything with it, we're laughing. Like, in theory, if I was to go and buy like rare J1s, then it'd have half a chance, but I'm not here to stress in the grand scheme of things. Especially if money wise could potentially happen if you were top 25. Personally, I highly doubt it. Then for this team, just Yanez for that. Then going into like in-season squads for J1, we've got Fuku, we've got Kawahara, Shoji, Korakawa, and Lukian making up that squad. Then we've got Sho Fukuda, Nakano, Asako. Then we've got Aidaguchi. And then our man that plays midfield and up front, Daiju Sasaki. I love how he plays everywhere. It's brilliant. Like, just one of these. Daiju just super steady, super consistent. And what I love how is that I've thrown in 2 rares that get a use this game week. We've got Ichimori. We've got our man that we won many moons ago, Yamakawa, for rare for crafting. To buy Kono and Lukian. So Kono and Lukian being rares, and it's handy Lukian's actually a classic in this case, it just fitted nicely. Esqueta's just killed that team off the bat. Like, honestly, if I'd known he was going to be that bad last night, I would have probably put him down there and put Murakami or Nato there. But personally, I probably would have put Murakami up here. But we've got Park Chan-young, Lucas Fernandez, Yamashita and Araki. I still fancy that he scored massive numbers anyway, so I wouldn't put past Fernandez getting like 150. Park Chan-young with the 2 games has a chance to score massive. Yamashita, this is the ideal game for him to score about 80-90 points. And Araki, the form he's shown just now, could be another 100-point game inbound for him possibly, even though it is against a strong Kashima Antlers. But first v 5th, exciting game in the division. Then Nato, Dawan, Shoji, Shota Fukuoka and Dai Tono. I love how I've got 2 Shotas, it's brilliant, just banter. Still to this day. Dawan being captain seemed the most logical with the 2 games, and I thought he's playing well, should get big numbers, and he's Mr. Reliable. Then Murakami, Shota, Yamagishi, Yuto Suzuki and Carlos Grezzo. I thought I'd go Grezzo is in there. And then this classic common squad, Araki, Hayakawa, Lucas Fernandez, Oliveira and Haruki Mai. Under 23s we have Elliot Anderson, Chris Brady, Nishio, Danny Pereira and Richinel Margaret. Then Robin Roofs, Elias, Matsima, North and Caden Clark. These 2 teams have real potential to do well. The challenge is that the problem is the under 21 players, they've all got like 3 games in the game week, so you're kind of balancing 2 or 3 games in the game week. Then there's Gold Cup, and then for MIS have got similar problems. Chris Brady might play, don't play, I don't know, but we've got him in, and it's like under 23. Like, unless you're buying Robin Roofs, then who conceded twice, which kind of crippled that off the bat. Then our special squads, these just to get players playing and used and all that good stuff. Mainly in the rear department because we don't have, limited wise, it's the same problem. We don't have enough starting keepers. But I've got Florinus, Romatro, Pineda and Richinel, Iba Boys, Junku, Kanamori and Florinus there. Then Fornus, Abina, Gallagher and Raul Jimenez. Fornus, Polster, Nakano and Iba Boys. Crepu and Nagishi, as far as I believe, aren't going to be starting in any capacity. Crepu, yes, he's away on international duty for Canada, but I believe he's just not going to be playing in either game. Then our All-Star squad is Livramento, Ederson, Westwood, Richards, Marmouche. Joys of what we had in our gallery. Livramento getting 80, getting the assist, big difference there. Captaining as well, 126 points. He felt most logical to captain anyway because it was 3 games in the game week, but we will see from there. As I say, I'm not doing Arena, I'm not doing Coliseum, I'm not doing anything else. I will try and get them sorted, and I'll get game weeks 89 and 90 maybe sorted because of a few things. So basically, I need to sell Bro home tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow. He will be going. I'm not keeping him. Last 5 sales, what we're looking at, 20 quid. So if we can get 20 quid, I'll take 20 quid. Can't see it likes, but I'll have a look. 16 quid, right? So 16 quid. So in the end, it's like small loss, but depends if you get over the fee, I suppose. But the it was just one of those things. Nobody was expecting that kind of spike, I suppose. But basically, what we're trying to do is, at the moment, is decide if we want to continue beyond into season 25-26. I am a little bit apprehensive because of attitudes across the community, adjustments to a lot of competitions. As someone who has built up strong, limited and rare for Classic and in season, well, in season became this season for 24-25, but and especially like the Hibs lads popping off helped massively. Like there's tons I got in the Hibs lads basically paid their difference back in a matter of like no time and profit on top. And the problem that I'm having is if I do sell up, like what's my plan of attack really? So I'm kind of pondering where I go with everything. I think once I've read like the patch notes, because I've only got one of the super rares left. I've got Nevers gone. Mitchell will probably go as well at some point, because what we've done is, from clearing out a good chunk of the limiteds, Nevers and I think some of the junk rares, it allowed us to get Smith, it allowed us to get Barkas, it allowed us to get Zeleneka, and it hasn't cost us like anything. Like Barkas was literally Hayakawa, so and Zeleneka was literally goalies that I was wanting rid of, and Smith was literally players I wanted rid of as well, and I was delighted. And it's been the same bringing in Kowalczyk, Moore, Yamagishi, Pineda as well over the last week. Literally getting rid of players that we no longer needed, that we didn't really have a use for, and taking it from there. As I said, Sivjanovic, Les, they'll go at some point. Mitchell as well, and there's quite a few others I'm trying to get rid of because I do want to tidy up the gallery, especially if I do stay on, then we will be doing limited and rares. But the problem is, I want to know what our structure is for next season. I want to know what I'm committed towards, because it's going to be serious the way everyone's feeling. And as I said, I'm at 19 and 20, 32 for Hibs, 16 and 21 for my Millwall, 7 out of 30 for Fortuna, 11 out of 28 for Fish. But Arcasy will likely go. I do just need to offload. I think it's just Kramer's really the only one I'll probably offload. But for what I have heard, like Riccinello has got interest, Keeley has interest. Keeley's contract had ran out anyway, but I believe he has interest. Adewoye obviously plays at Fortuna, and Lakesa, see what happened to him. But it's not really a collection I think that can really bring much. As I said, I'll be thinning out quite a few of these collections anyways, there will be cards of like, right, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. I want to tidy up the gallery anyway and bring in fresh stuff. Hibs could get to 5. What's annoying is the Mariah Welsh I wish I'd got sooner, simply because at the time when he was super low, it was less than £1, it was like 80 pence, and I missed the chance on him. Tavares is pennies, and I missed him. Kenna was the same. Doyle Hayes has stayed expensive. Boyle's kind of stayed expensive, and Triantis same. It's like Bursic and Boric. Bursic's been cheaper. He's been like a couple of quid at a push. Like, I don't know why even Pavel's selling him for a £5 because he will never play. And I'd like it if I'd got it to 5, it'd be ideal. But realistically, I can't see it personally. I love how Hotshot Hamish has flown up into 4th here. Like, they've got a special Bursic and a special Mikola. Is that the one I missed? No, it's not. It was one he had. No, someone. It was the winter. It was one of the winter. I know what I'm thinking of. Shut up, Grim. Yeah, I know who this guy is now. That's fine. But yeah, we've been trying our hardest to try and get all the special ones. Like Obita, we've tried a few times to get his special from owners that have him. Like, even now, it's like the instant buys £1. Like Bradders, who's had him for long enough, I've tried discussing with him, and he's like, you'd get much more of a collection bonus, but it's just the way it goes, I suppose. Folk will pay what they're willing to. Mana, Alisana's literally just got a few. If it was like £1 to buy it, I would, but the two that I have them crafted, I've literally tried to get on the cheap, just to say, like, look, you have them, I want them. Because obviously he's not got a 1 still, and which is quite amusing. Amos, there is 1. I thought it was a 1. Give me a sec. It's 3. Oh, it's so poor. Right, has him for £1. Yeah, so first person bought him for 766. This person bought him for £1. Like, in theory, I would be trying my hardest to get him, but ain't going to happen. And Pug's got 8. Trent's still got this Nectar for £10. He's had him for months. I've tried. I've offered like more real. Like, he was doubling price earlier in the year, but it is what it is. But that is part of my challenge. If I want to keep going beyond next season, and yeah, so. Obviously, the notes that are said, and this, I love how it says it's a 19-minute read. It's not really. It says it's our boldest gameplay yet, in-season gameplay. Like, for me personally, like, in-season's fine, but keep classic as well. Like, for, as I've said, and I've seen quite a few of us say, under 20, like, especially the 24-25 season, under 23 was one competition I wish we had in season on top of classic, because I had players that I could have thrown in to in season and then classic, and it would have made me put a little bit, not necessarily extra funds in, but I had players that were sitting in under 20, that would have been sitting in under 23 classic, getting game time, and the folk that were in the in season under 23 would be fine. So it was like you were trying to balance all competitions. Obviously lineup bonuses, which we've seen on screen and stuff like that. Mine are like SO7 is going to be interesting. 2 defenders, 2 mids and a forward with an extra. So me personally, I see me, because I've got quite, I think, heavy mids and defenders, that's probably what I'll end up throwing in. But the thing is, with the feedback, this is when I'm always intrigued. Who have you been speaking to in the community for this? Like, this is when I'd be curious to know, because like All-Star Under 23 Champions Europe, if they are going to be the SO7s, right, that's fine. But Under 23 for a squad of 7 is a lot harder, probably becomes more expensive, because you're needing to have like 223 defenders, mids, etc. It's just overwhelming. And it says this new competition replaces the current classic structure of classic league specific contender challenger. Like, so if challenger and contender are gone, then I am seriously pondering where I'm going with it, because like I don't really just want this. Like, if you're knocking out contender and challenger, it's like, why? So I think now that I'm having I've had brief reads, but I'm having a read here live, and I am feeling a little bit kind of disappointed, really. Like, if challenger and contender aren't going to get a use, like, who knows? Like the super rare unique stuff, and I can see why all the unique guys are annoyed with that. Like, it should be 1 of 1 rather than, like, as they say, 1 of 11. Crafting, God knows. But yeah, see what they say. I'm gonna have to have a right good think, and take it from there. So yeah, plenty to dissect, and yeah, yep. Hey ho. Right, I'll see what I suppose like trend will take for the lot, and we'll go from there. But let me know, folks, your thoughts on everything, how you're feeling, not feeling. My latest match, next match is tomorrow at 3 in the morning, 3, 9, 10. Right, not bad. So we'll see where we go for there. This could be the last serious game week, possibly, which would be kind of brutal, really, because I didn't want it to kind of sour on that. But yeah, we'll have a think, because I've already built one squad for next week. Says I can build 18 more, which would be contender under 23 and All-Star. So we'll wait and see, folks. But have a good one. Take it easy, all. Thanks for listening. As it's seasonal and all that. Oh, I can claim Prem. Wonderful. Lovely. Right, have a good one, and I will catch you all later, folks.